Give the gift of Rev Voice this Christmas. Rejoice with Rev Voice when you sign up and enter to win 12 days of giveaways, including a 2015 Jeep Wrangler from Bahamas Bus and Truck.
Good evening, Bahamas. You're tuned into NB12 Weekend, broadcasting from Cable 12 Studios on Robinson Road. Coming up tonight in news, a Junkanoo upset as the Boxing Day title is snatched from the Saxons and given to one family. Saxons plan to appeal. This as the parade management chief announces that the New Year's Day parade will be his last. The DPM vows to take action following unlawful industrial action by Bahamas Air pilots, plus another murder recorded. I'm Paige McCartney, and NB12 Weekend starts now. Welcome once again to NB12. One Family Junkanoo Group is the new unofficial winner of the 2014 Boxing Day Junkanoo Parade, snatching the title away from the Shell Saxon Superstars. The Saxons dropped to second place, pushing Roots to third. Meantime, the Valley Boys remain in the fourth position. Saxons plan to appeal, however. One Family Group leaders say they deserve this victory. Fanique Toot reports.
Disappointment turned to delight last night as members of the One Family Junkanoo Group celebrated their 2014 Boxing Day victory. 9 hours after he announced that the Saxons had won the Boxing Day Junkanoo Parade, head of the parade management team Douglas Hanna revealed during an emergency news conference last night that One Family had in fact emerged as the true champion after an error was corrected. Here are the new unofficial results.
Fourth place, Valley Boys with 73.2 points. Third place with 85.1 points was Roots. Second place was 86.87 points, the Saxons. And first place with 87.60 points was One Family. And that's a different position from earlier, but that is the corrected position that I got.
One Family won Best Banner, while the Saxons won the Shirley Street Performance Lead Costume and Best Off-the-Shoulder Costume. Roots won in the Music, Best Choreographed Dance, and Free Dancer categories. One Family Chairman Darren Turnquest says their prayers have been answered.
I came out tonight as the Pope, and the Pope was in prayer and fasting, and evidently the Lord has answered our prayers, and so we simply say, as we said all morning, may the souls of the faithful departed through the mercies of God rest in peace and rise victoriously in glory.
The win for me, personally, it hits home to me because I lost my son this year. He was the 71st murder victim of the year, 15-year-old. So it was a personal thing for me. And like my chairman said, we came and we conquered. So, warriors, let's go to bay!
The young chairman says One Family members left their hearts and souls on Bay Street with their Forever in Our Hearts theme, and they have seen the fruits of their labor.
The Bible says the prayers of the faithful, what does the faithful avail it much? I think that's it. But let's go with that for now. Usually I'm able to call these scriptures but I'm so caught with excitement. I am so ecstatic because this is what we need as One Family.
Hannah says when he initially announced Junkanoo results on Arawak Key Saturday afternoon, he had only received the overall results and scores for just some of the categories. However, he says accountants later gave him all of the scores, some of which had been corrected. After those corrections were made, it was discovered that One Family scored higher than the Saxons and Roots. However, Hannah suggested the mistake was not his, as he does not tabulate scores.
When all of the scores have been looked at, the accountants then do the final tabulation for the unofficial scores. They give me the sheet of paper, the paper that I took to Awaki today, with the promise that I would get the full sheet later. When I got the full sheet, the accountants said there was a mistake with the position, and they gave me the corrected one, and that is what I read just now.
The parade management head says he met with members of the Junkanoo Corporation to discuss the corrected results last night. However, that meeting didn't go so well. He says there will be an appeal process.
There was a big disagreement over whether I should make this announcement tonight. I made the announcement about whether this should now go straight to the IRC. There's an appeal process, whether at this stage, whatever we have should go to the IRC through the appeal process. Well, I hadn't given all the complete scores as I got them today, so I had to make a decision as to give what I have from the accountants, and that is what I did.
As officials work to move beyond this issue, the new Boxing Day champions say they have their sights set on a double victory.
We're going to New Year's. We're going to New Year's, and I'm hoping, I'm praying, I'm fasting that on New Year's we get the same result.
Reporting for NB12, I'm Vonique Tude.
Leaders of the Saxons Junkanoo group say they plan to appeal the new results, telling NB12 today they are professionals and they will not be demoralized. Group leader Percy Vola Francis would only say that officials met and will review parade rules to get to the bottom of what he called flaws. Parade officials told us that no group has appealed as yet, but noted groups have a 24-hour window to do so. Well, there wasn't just confusion in the A category, though. Head of the parade management team, Douglas Hanner, says 6 Junkanoo groups in the B category were disqualified after they reportedly failed to meet certain requirements. That means only 3 of the B groups qualified. However, Hanner said last night that a review of the groups revealed that some of them did not deserve to be disqualified. He called it an unusual situation.
When I reviewed with the JCMP, I think some of those decisions may have been wrong because we see like 1 or 2 groups where it was decided that they didn't have the requisite lead costume, and we see from the review that maybe they did have the requisite costumes.
Hanna says officials must move quickly to address this matter.
Decisions like that will have to be made quickly, I guess, because, and rightly so, most of the big groups are pretty upset about it because only 3 of them were seen to have qualified. I cannot make a decision on what happens next as far as they're concerned because I do not have a corrected. I would think that the accountants and the persons who counted, what they saw on the scorecards was what they tabulated with regards to the B group.
While some Junkanoo fans have labeled the Boxing Day parade the worst Junkanoo parade ever, Hanna says he too has heard those claims and revealed that he will not serve as head of the parade management team after the New Year's Day parade.
I told him that I don't think that with all good conscience that I feel good with continuing with this because, I become the face at this time. And so I have a concerns, and I will certainly be sitting down. I've already sat with the JCMP, and we spoke about it as to where we are in the position. Because, you hear persons talk now about, hey, this is the worst parade we've ever had.
He says much finger-pointing has taken place since Boxing Day, with some people claiming Junkanoo groups did not have access to the parade site. Hanna says there was also a delay after one of the Category A groups failed to get on bay on time.
The second A group that was supposed to come, they couldn't come because they were not there. And it really had nothing to do with them coming into the holders position. I got a message, and to their credit, they sent a message early that, listen, we have a situation where we broke down on Carmichael Road. We cannot get to the parade. We then went to the other groups and tried to tell all of them, listen, the group cannot get here and they're supposed to come and say, so prepare yourself to come in so that we don't have a gap in the parade. It didn't happen. We couldn't get another A group to follow quickly.
Hannah says A groups have outright refused to step in for other A groups that couldn't make it to the Bay Street on time. He fears there could be another huge gap on New Year's Day, telling reporters that he is not confident the music makers and Prodigal Sons will be able to make it out of the gate on time on Thursday morning. And shifting to other news tonight, Deputy Prime Minister Philip Brave Davis is calling last week's industrial action by Bahamas Air pilots a gross act of corporate sabotage, adding immediate action must be taken to prevent further occurrences. In a statement released this afternoon, Davis, who has ministerial responsibility for the national fly carrier, called their actions irresponsible and selfish, asserting it brings cause for acceleration of the government's efforts to relieve the Bahamian taxpayer of this heavy financial burden. Last week, Tuesday, pilots refused to work, grounding travelers during the height of holiday travel. The action was reported internationally. Davis added that pilots took the unlawful and unwarranted industrial action less than 6 hours after being informed that the Minister of Labor would take their proposal to Cabinet the following day. Davis said all concerned must come to grips with the reality that Bahamas Air is no longer an essential service, considering major foreign carriers provide for the bulk of the tourists traveling to the country. Davis said in full view of the costs and embarrassment the company and the pilots insensitivity to the Bahamian people, the recent action may have consumed the limited resources necessary to facilitate government's last proposal and may necessitate that it be withdrawn. Moreover, he said, the financial impact of recent events is nowhere as damaging as will be the negative publicity received from local and international travelers, which is immeasurable.